Good morning, everyone. My name is Jennifer Addis, for those of you who haven't met me yet, and I'm with First Source Insurance, and I have the privilege of working with the Rileys with their group benefit plan and what we offer you. So this morning, we just want to hit on a couple of the highlights of your plan. There have been some changes with the network, and we also want to review Healthy Issue. This was a feature that we added January 1st of this year. I kind of want to go over that to make sure you all understand how that works, or if you have any questions on how to register for that. Who's here with me this morning is Chase, and he is from AGA, and he's going to hit on some of those highlights that I just mentioned. And please, this is very informal. If you have any questions as we go through it, just let me know. As many of you know as well, I am available year-round to assist you. Please contact me if you have questions throughout the year, or if there's something you don't understand, please give me a call, or text me, or email. Okay? Thanks so much.
All right, good morning. Thanks everyone for coming out this morning. We want to go over a couple of the changes, obviously, that are taking place. Riley's continues to self-fund this health plan, which is the best way for them to keep costs down. So for those of you that don't know, they take on a big part of, first part of all your claims up into a certain threshold, and then insurance kicks in after that. So it's important for us to be good consumers of healthcare. Obviously, the best consumers that we can be helps them to keep their costs down, and then in turn keep your premiums down over the long haul. So these benefits are changing. The benefits that we're going to go over are going to be changing January 1st. And again, there's some changes that we're going over. So make sure you ask questions if you have any. If you have any personal questions, I'd be happy to answer them after we get done. If you open up to page 2, it talks about eligibility. If you're not on the plan, or you have dependents that are not on the plan as of right now, and you want them to come onto the plan, or you want to come on the plan and you're not on there, now is the time to elect coverage to be effective January 1st. Okay, so the month of November here is your open enrollment late entrant period. So if you are thinking about coming onto the plan, or bringing dependents onto the plan, now is your time to do that. If you wait till December, it's too late. Okay, so make sure that you keep that in mind. Get with Beth, get with Jennifer or I, to make sure that you get them at least elected onto the plan. Now, if December rolls around and you've elected to come onto the plan, and for whatever reason you change your mind, you can deny coverage at that point. But if you think you want to come onto the plan and you're not on the plan now, or you want to bring dependents on the plan, November is the time to do that. Got it? All right. There are special enrollments throughout the year, so if you have a special life event, those also create an eligibility window for you to come onto the plan or bring dependents onto the plan. You can see those there: marriage, divorce, birth or adoption of a child, or loss of eligibility somewhere else. So if your spouse has coverage somewhere else, they're not on the plan here, and halfway through the year they lose their job, or they quit their job, they lose their coverage, you have a 30-day window from the time of that event to bring them onto the plan. Okay? Same way with any of these other ones. If you get married, if you get divorced, if you have a child, or your spouse has a child, you have a 30-day window, and only a 30-day window. If you don't come on within that 30 days, you have to wait till the next open enrollment, which is next November, to be effective in January. Make sense? Dependent children are eligible to stay on the plan until the end of the month that they turn 26. They don't have to. It's just they're eligible to stay on the plan. Okay. All right. Let's get into a couple of the changes here, and the biggest change that we want to make sure that we talk about. I talked about keeping costs to a minimum, obviously to you guys, but also to Riley's as a company. And to do that, Beth and Kim did quite a bit of kind of back and forth and thought, and we did a lot of research on what we wanted to do here. As of January 1st, there's only going to be one network option available, and they're moving it up a tier. So they're moving it to the Signature Care EPO. So it's no longer going to be a dual choice plan. So if you're on Lutheran Preferred right now, everyone's going to be moving to the Signature Care EPO. And this is, this may cause a few bumps in the road, but in the long haul, it's going to save you guys money. Because of going to the EPO, and I'll talk about what that is, you're going to get much deeper discounts on all those claims that you're having at the hospitals. And this is really going to only affect, because over 98% of the doctors in our area are in both networks, even if they have Lutheran on their door. So it's really not going to affect the doctors. It's really only going to affect where you go to have your surgeries and your inpatient procedures in the hospital. Okay? So we're going to want to have those done at the Parkview facilities. This map here talks about where those facilities are. So if you just open up your packet, if you have one that has a map in it, if you don't have a map, some of them are in it and some of them aren't, but I want to make sure that everybody has a map, because I want to talk about what an EPO hospital is and where we can get that taken care of. Everybody have a map? So if you look at this, you've probably seen this before. This has changed just a little bit. Okay? The first column is the signature. It talks about an EPO hospital, PPO provider. No EPO hospital or PPO provider available. I want to talk about what each one of those means. Okay? The EPO hospital is what I was talking about. That's going to be the change that we're making. So the EPO hospital is when you go to have an inpatient procedure done. Okay? Your wife's having a baby. You're having surgery. You're having an inpatient stay in the hospital. You want to make sure that you're doing that at an EPO facility. Okay? You can see what your deductible would be there. The individual deductible of $3,000, which is the same as what you have now in your in-network, and 100% after that. Okay? The EPO facilities are listed here. All the Parkview hospitals, all the Parkview regional hospitals, but also IU is in the EPO, the ones listed here at the top. So IU Methodist in Indianapolis, IU Ball in Muncie, all those IU hospitals are also in the EPO. These are going to be your best, not only your best value, but also your best discount on that bill that you get. Okay, so we're getting about a 30% discount. You're looking at about 45 to 50% discount on those claims now at the hospital. So you can see why we're going to that exclusive network. Now this isn't going to affect everybody, but for those that were on Lutheran Preferred, we are going to have to make a few changes, or just be conscious of where you go for those services. Okay? So this map shows all the hospitals that are in Signature Care's network. So every county that's in green on this map has an in-network hospital. The ones that are in light green have an EPO hospital. So let's go to that middle column now. You'll see that you have a middle column on this sheet that says PPO hospital. So that's not out of network, but you can see that your deductible is raised a little bit. So it goes from a $3,000 deductible to a $4,000 deductible. And that's just for PPO hospitals. And really this column, if you want, I know we put some pins out on the tables, thank you for that. If you want to make a note, this middle column that says PPO hospital, there's only really two hospitals that apply, or two things going to apply to this middle column here. And that's Bluffton Regional and KCH in Warsaw. Okay? Those two hospitals, if you elect to go to those two hospitals to have your procedures done, it's going to be a little bit more of a deductible. It's going to be a little bit higher. And the reason that they do that is because those two hospitals don't give you as big a discount. We only get about a 5% discount on those hospitals as opposed to a 45% discount. Okay? Questions on what this middle column means. Bluffton, KCH, also Marion General. I'll throw that one in there as well. So not out of network, just not as good of a discount and a higher deductible. Okay? Let's go over to the far column. This is what most plans would call out of network. It's not out of network. You still have benefits, but you can see a significantly higher deductible more co-insurance, and an unlimited out-of-pocket. So this column now, again, there's only a few things that apply to this column. And this is what's going to change for a few people. That's Lutheran Hospital, DuPont Hospital, and St. Joe. Okay? Questions on that? You can see there. You can still go to those hospitals, but it's going to cost you a lot more money. It's going to cost the plan a lot more money. So that's why we want to make sure that we know to try to use one of these facilities if possible. The Signature Care EPO facilities. Let's go back to this first column real quick. Okay? I talked about the EPO hospital. You have the map that shows what the EPO hospital is. PPO provider is the next thing that's listed there. That's all your doctor's offices. And again, like I said, this shouldn't affect too many people because over 98% of all the doctors in our area here are in both networks. Okay? We still want to go out and make sure that our doctor's in the network, so you can do that. Up here at the top, it says to locate a Signature Care provider, you can call a number, and then in blue there's a website, parkviewtotalhealth.com. You go on there and you can find your doctor. If your doctor is not in the network, they have a welcome clinic at Parkview North, or PRMC up north, and they can help you get associated with a new doctor if for some reason your doctor isn't in network. But like I said, over 98% of the doctors in our area are going to be in Signature Care's network, even if they're a Lutheran doctor. Okay? If you have questions on that, or if you want us to check and see if your doctor is in network, I can do that afterwards. Or we can do that at any point throughout the year. Okay? The next part down here in that first column says, no EPO hospital or PPO provider available. What does that mean? So if you're on vacation, if you're over the road, and you need to go to the hospital, there's no Signature Care in Pennsylvania or wherever you're going, you're still going to be covered at that highest benefit. Okay, so that's more of an emergent situation. What if you get in a car accident at 69 and 24, and the ambulance takes you to a Lutheran hospital? That's still going to be covered at the highest because you don't have a choice on where you're going. We want the ambulance to take you to Lutheran Hospital. Okay, we want to make sure that you're getting the best care possible. Okay. Now again, that's emergent situations. We don't want you to elect to have a surgery in Florida just because you want to hang out on the beach. It's not allowed. Okay. Questions on any of this? The benefits really haven't changed. It's more the network that's changed. Your deductible hasn't gone up. Just that come January 1st, if you're on Lutheran Preferred, everyone's going to be switched to this Signature Care EPO. And again, this is going to save you money. We've done this to help keep your premiums down. Medical inflation is over 11% increase per year. And so it's crazy. And we're going to talk about medications here in a minute. It's just as bad. So we're trying to combat some of this, trying to help save the company money, and also definitely help save you guys money. Okay? That was kind of a lot to take in. So if you have questions afterwards, if we're going to stick around and answer questions. I'm sure there'll be some. Okay. Let's flip the page. The dental coverage, the vision coverage, they haven't changed at all. Okay. Same deal as far as the dental and vision go. On page 6 is a summary of all of the added tools that Riley has added to the plan to help save you money. These are extra tools that not every plan has, and so great benefits to help keep your costs down. The first one is GoodRx, and all the details on all these are in the subsequent pages. So let's just go ahead and flip to page 7 and 8. GoodRx is something you've probably seen on TV, or you may have seen commercials on TV there's a coupon app. This is a different app, okay? And you don't have to use the app. You can download it on your computer as well. But I would highly encourage you, if you are taking maintenance medication, if you're on regular medication, to download this app or go to this website. It talks about how to do it right here by the picture of the phone. and register to do that. What that is that's an app that's it's integrated through our system at AGA. So it scrubs the data that comes through our system, and so it's going to talk to you and tell you where to get your medications for the lowest cost pharmacy. Okay, that's an ever-changing. That changes almost on a weekly basis. Those costs do. So what this does is this helps you. It's going to send you alerts. If you register, it's going to send you alerts either through your email or on push notification on your smartphone, and it's going to tell you where to go to get your drugs at the lowest cost. Okay. There's several features on here. If you flip to page 8, it talks about it's going to track your savings, so you can track your savings. That's a great thing to do. I already told you it's going to send you notifications on where the lowest cost is. You can, if you're taking several medications, so let's say you're taking 4 different medications and they're cheaper at different places, there's an aggregator button. And so you can click the button and it's going to give you the lowest cost pharmacy for all of your drugs. So if you want to just go to one location, it's going to give you the lowest overall pharmacy. Okay? So that's a great option. You can also transfer your prescription. So if you download this app and you find out, I'm going to Walgreens and I should be getting them at Kroger because it's $50 cheaper for me, you can transfer your prescription with the touch of a button. You don't have to call the pharmacy. You don't have to call your doctor. It's a very good feature. It's very easy and convenient. Okay? So this is a huge way to save yourself money. Especially if you're getting your drugs at Walgreens, I would highly encourage you to check this out. Walgreens is typically the most expensive pharmacy. Typically. Okay?
I get it.
Again, not everywhere, or not everything, but typically, we've had groups exclude Walgreens because of their cost. I mean, that's just the reality. I'm not saying every drug, I'm just saying, yeah.
I know, I think for the medicines I take, I might spend $30. If I do the 90-day supply, that's where I get the major discount.
Yep, yep, and that's what you do, right?
Yeah,
You've shopped it.
I've shopped a little bit.
Most people don't, and so that's why we want to make sure that we're checking it out. Because we've had people, save $50 a month just on switching, and I'm not saying from.
Oh, sure.
And so, Walgreens is typically the most expensive. Walmart is usually right there with them. CVS is kind of middle of the road. Meijer and Kroger are typically in our area the cheapest. I'm not saying for every drug. That's why I want you to go check it out. Okay. Yeah.
Is there a reason why the quote yellow GoodRx is actually a better rate than this one? Because we've had 3 medicines this year, and all 3 of them were cheaper on the other GoodRx.
Yep. Right.
So my pharmacist was like,
"That's good. Yeah. So that's good that you have both."
It's cheaper to do the other.
And I would encourage you to download both apps because. So what happens is the yellow app, as we call it, I don't know what you call it, the other app you see on TV, that's a coupon app. So that's manufacturer's coupons through.
Okay.
This is running through the pharmacy benefit manager that we use. So some drugs are going to be cheaper on that. The downside to it is it's not running through your plan.
And that's what he told me.
Okay. And so it's not combining to your, it's not applying to your deductible.
So if it's like an antibiotic that you're only going to take once and it only costs you $5, then just do the yellow instead of the blue.
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah.
Okay.
You're doing the right things. You're checking both of them.
Okay.
So, okay. Questions on GoodRx? She's talking about the one that I was mentioning that's on TV. So there's a one that anybody can download. This one here is just for you guys at Ryan. Okay, it's going to tell you what the cost is through the plan. Okay. Let's turn quick to page 10. This is what Jennifer mentioned that we really want to talk quite a bit about and want to try to get stuck in your head. Healthiest You is a telemedicine program. Has anybody used Healthiest You? A few people? All right. We know that a few people have used it. We can see the utilization. We don't know who uses it, but we can tell how many people use it. this is a great option for everybody, whether you're at home, whether you're in the truck, whether you're on vacation, whether you have kids at school, at college. This allows you to communicate with a board-certified physician licensed in the state that you're calling from, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, unlimited access. Riley's already paid the access fee for it, so if there's one part of the health plan that we want to overutilize, it's Healthiest You. They can diagnose, treat, and prescribe right over the phone. And their stats show that they can handle over 70% of the things that we go to the doctor for on a regular basis. So, the strep throat, the respiratory infection, sinus infection, pink eye, allergies, UTI. Over 70% of the things that we go to the doctor and the urgent care for, they can handle right over the phone. Their average callback time is less than 10 minutes. So if you've been to the urgent care or tried to get into a doctor recently, you know how long you have to sit at the urgent care, and you know how hard it is to get into your doctor sometimes.
And you said we don't have to pay for that
Less
when
than
we
10
call?
minutes. Zero cost to you. There's no cost to you at all. That's the best part, right?
All right,
Free's good.
yeah.
So Riley's already paid for this up front for unlimited access. This is something that's being utilized across our block of business and across the country, and is only becoming more and more popular because they can handle so much right over the phone. We don't want this to take place of your primary care physician. If you don't have a primary care physician, we want you to get one because we feel that's important. And obviously to get your medications and things like that, that's, you need to do that. But they can, for the everyday things like I was talking about, flus, colds, respiratory infections, sinus infections, pink eyes, rashes, you can upload pictures to their portal. And again, it's quick, it's convenient, it's free, and they can handle quite a bit right over the phone. It talks on the next page, on page 11, how to download the app. I need everybody to download this app if they can, okay, today.
Got it.
Perfect. It takes about 3 minutes. It's very quick, very easy to download. And then also, after you download it, register for it. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to put in you and your dependents' information. They're going to ask some questions about, what medications you're on, what conditions you're dealing with, if you have any family history. All those things that you fill out when you go to the doctor, they give you the clipboard and you fill them out, check yes or no. You're going to do that ahead of time so that when you click the app and you need to talk to a physician and they call you back, they don't have to, they may ask you a few, hey, are you on any new medications? But you don't have to go through that whole list. They see that ahead of time. They can see that in their system, and then they skip that process. So that just makes it that much quicker. Okay?
The other thing we like to mention about Healthiest You is that it is available to you and anyone in your household, whether they're on Riley's plan or not. So for example, if you have a spouse or your kids and they're on a different health plan, they still can use Healthiest You at no charge if they're part of your household.
Great point. Free. No extra cost.
Even if they're over the age of 26?
If they're
No,
living in your
26.
household.
Okay, stops at, okay,
If they're living in your household.
okay.
Okay? Okay? This is a great thing. If you don't get anything else out of the day, obviously we want to get you the network. Make sure you remember the network. Don't get anything else today, download this app, and next time you're feeling a little under the weather, call them. Worst case scenario, you call them and they say, can't help you, go to your doctor. You missed 5 minutes. I used this a couple months ago, had a respiratory infection. I clicked the app. Within 3 minutes, the doctor called me back. I talked to him for about 10 minutes. Within an hour, he had already sent the script to the pharmacy. I had gone and picked it up, and I was already back home in bed. Within an hour. Pretty quick, pretty easy, pretty convenient. I didn't have to go sit in the urgent care with a bunch of other sick people. Get something that I didn't have. Okay?
Yeah.
Questions on Healthiest You? Remember it. That's what these hot packs, cold packs, we've got some Healthiest You stuff. You're going to see posters and stuff hanging up throughout the year. We're going to try to remind you on a regular basis because this is another great way to save not only yourself money, It'll save the company money, and that's how we keep premiums to a minimum, okay? All right, cool. Let's flip to, real quick, page 14. Has anybody heard of LabCorp? Has anybody used LabCorp? Okay? Again, this is a great way to save yourself money. Being on the high deductible plan, you're going to save over 83% on your lab services. If you're getting regular labs done, call LabCorp, set up an appointment on their website. You can walk right in. If you have an appointment, walk right in, get your labs done, walk out, they send it to your doctor. You get a significant discount. Okay? Great way to
You
save
gotta go to the doctor to get the.
You have to have an order. You have to have an order. Yep.
Not what you get, why would you need to go to the lab otherwise?
Questions on LabCorp?
I'm just saying.
There's four LabCorps within city limits here. It's very easy to get to, one in each quadrant of the city.
Most of the time, you don't even need an appointment.
You don't have to have an appointment. You're right.
Check in when
Unless
you
you
walk
just
in.
like needles.
I encourage you to get an appointment. A lot of times, if they're not busy, you can walk right in and whatever. But if you have an appointment, you walk in and you skip everybody that's sitting in the waiting room, and you go right back. Okay? So you don't have to have an appointment. That's a good point.
If you don't, be there when it's open, when they open.
Yeah, because you'll be sitting there.
It gets full quick.
Yep.
Or right before they close.
Yeah, there
Next
you go.
time.
All right, let's flip to page 15 real quick. Another great service that's been added. Direct imaging is it's a direct contract that Riley's has with a company that does MRIs, CT scans, X-rays, and ultrasounds. Right here in town, off of Illinois and Getz Road, right by the Meyer and the Steak and Shake. This allows you to, we've done all the work for you. You don't have to shop this one because we know this is the cheapest place that you can go and get these services done. Obviously, if it's an emergent situation and you're in the ER, you can't leave the ER to go do this. But if your doctor says, hey, we need to get an MRI on this, have them write the order, have them send it to direct imaging, and you'll get a significant discount. A typical MRI at an in-network facility, so at a Signature Care facility, after the reading and everything, is going to be about $1,200 for you. And being on the high deductible plan, you're going to be paying most of that. Okay, that's after discount, $1,200. If you go to direct imaging, it's under $400. So you can see a huge savings. They do several, they do a lot of things there when it comes to imaging services. You still need to have an order for it. You need to make an appointment, and it does need to be pre-certified. Okay? So once you get the order, send it to them, call them. If you need help, call Jennifer, Beth, or myself. We'll help you get that taken care of. This has really good equipment, the best equipment, as good or better than the equipment in the hospitals. So it's a new facility, yes, sir.
So if you're at the hospital and the doctor wants you to run over, you're at your doctor's office and then wants you to get a CT scan or something,
Yep.
you'd rather go here than tell you, if he tells you to go to the hospital, say go here.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's like a stat thing that they need right away,
Just tell me to
Tell
go
them.
here.
tell them to go here.
You gotta pay the day of.
Jerry, when my back went out,
Good question.
I had to do an emergency scan. I didn't have time to get it scheduled, and so I called Jennifer, and I had to pay out of pocket, and she seen it, I got reimbursed 100%. This really is good insurance, you guys. It really is.
Yeah, a lot of companies are seeing insurance deductibles of $5,000 or $6,000. I mean, it's out of control. This is a great plan, and they've added a lot of great things to it. To answer your question, yes. So because you're on the high deductible plan, upfront at direct imaging for this service here.
That's in Fort Wayne, you said?
It's in Fort Wayne, right off of Illinois and Getz Road, right by the Meyer and Steak and Shake.
Your doctor's in network, would they go ahead and refer you to this automatically?
Yeah, so that's another good question. This is technically, and your doctor might say this, they might say, hey, direct imaging is not in the Signature Care network. It's not. Okay? That's a good question. But Riley has a direct contract with them through us. And so it's better than being in network. Okay? So yes, your doctor they can refer you. If not, have them write the order and send it to them, or have them write the order and you take it to them.
Okay,
Call them.
but they will not automatically send you over there if they're in network.
They might not, no. They'll probably, if you're going to a Parkview physician, they'll probably tell you to go to a Parkview Imaging service, yeah. But this is,
When they log on to the AGA, okay, do they see that this is cheaper for us?
your doctor,
Yes.
your doctor will not know that, no. You need to know that.
I actually took a permanent marker and wrote on my ID card, direct imaging. So if we ever needed imaging, you know, because you're sitting there at the doctor's office and half the time you have no idea. It's already on your ID card
Yep.
that just write direct imaging on
We
the top
can't-
of it.
We can't, as a TPA, we can't put that on your insurance card.
It means it's no good.
Parkview doesn't allow us to do it, actually.
I mean, was that okay that I did that? I mean, it's not gonna mess up when they scan your ID card or
Not
anything?
that I know of, no, you're fine.
I needed a back x-ray,
I think
and it
that's
cost
the same.
$35 to go there. That was it. 35 is what it costs for an x-ray.
$35. That's great.
And it didn't, like you said,
That
it
would
didn't
probably
cost
cost
me
you
anything.
$1,000 at a facility.
And I literally went to the doctor, they said, we want a back x-ray. I called them when I was in the parking lot and said, hey, are you still open? They said, we got a half hour left, give us your information, head this way. They had already called insurance, had it approved, and within 5 minutes, I was back in the room getting my x-ray.
Yep.
So they did all the footwork for me before I even got there.
Usually, worst case scenario is a next day appointment for this, is what we've seen, okay?
And you gotta pay cash there first?
No,
You
No?
do need to pay, they will require you to pay up front now,
oh, do they, okay. They-
out of pocket, yep. Yep, that's one of the stipulations to the contract.
Maybe, is it because we had already met our deductible?
That would be why you
That's
don't
why,
have it.
okay.
They do know that, they'll call and find out.
Yes,
That's
that's
why
what
you
they
didn't
said.
have to
Okay.
pay, okay? Almost done here. Let's talk real quick about dabble and home phototherapy. Okay, this isn't gonna apply to everybody, but on page 16, it talks about a phototherapy benefit. This is for patients or members that have a skin disorder. Psoriasis, eczema are the most common ones that we see. First line treatment for those conditions are an injectable drug, sometimes upwards of $50,000 a year. Okay? So you see, obviously you pay your amount, but Riley's paying the rest of that. That's an expensive amount. If that's what you need, obviously that's what you need. The problem is with these injections, there's a lot of side effects too. Okay? Phototherapy is an alternative treatment that's been around since the 60s, and it works just as good as anything. The problem is it's not convenient. You can't go to the doctor 4 times a week. I know you guys are busier than that. You can't go to the doctor 4 times a week to get light therapy. Davlin and Riley have a direct contract that allows you to get this machine, this light therapy machine, customized to you and placed in your home after your deductible has been met at 100%. Okay, it's going to be covered at 100% after your deductible's been met. Okay, and this is a therapy that allows you to do it in the comfort of your own home. It's convenient, and again, it's going to save you money over the years to come because you're not taking that expensive injectable drug. Okay? Again, this isn't going to apply to everybody. It may not apply to you now, but if something pops up or one of the members, this is a great benefit to have. Okay? Anything else you want me to hit on?
Age 13, diabetes.
Okay. Let's talk about that. Yeah. Managed Care Concepts is a company that we work with for all sorts of things. Pre-certification, chronic care, they have case management. So if you get a call from somebody from MCC or Managed Care Concepts, they're a part of the plan, they're trying to help you out. This diabetic meter program on page 13 allows you to get a free meter and free test strips if you agree to work with a case manager once a month. Okay? So they're going to cover this at 100%, the meter and all the strips that you need at 100% if you talk to a case manager once a month. Basically what it does is when you test, it uploads to an online secured portal that only you and the case manager can see. You can share it with your doctor if you want to. And basically once a month they're going to call and say, hey, Joe, looks like you missed a couple of days of testing, or how's testing going, or looks like you had a spike here, is everything going okay? It's a short conversation, once a month. If you agree to do that, they'll cover not only the meter, but the test strips at 100%. Okay? If you're a diabetic and you pay for test strips, you know how much that costs. It's expensive, very expensive. They automatically know how many times you're testing because it's getting uploaded to their system. So when you get low on test strips, they're automatically going to send them to your house. You don't even have to call them and let them know.
Is this required or is this an option?
It's an option. You don't have to do it. No. All these are options. You don't have to go to direct imaging. You don't have to go to lab services. You don't have to use this. But I just said, I just tried to explain how much you guys are going to save by using these.
Right.
Okay? And most of the time, the diabetic meter, direct imaging, Good RX, Healthiest You, it's going to save you significantly. Test strips and a meter, I think, are over $1,200 a year typically.
Yeah, mine run about $50 for like 25 one touch.
Yeah.
But the meter's free.
Yeah, yeah, but they get you
They
the
get
test
you.
strips.
That's all you get.
Yeah. So yeah, free test strips is a good benefit. Again, obviously the main points that we want to make sure that we hammer home is this network change coming January 1st, and it's not a significant change. We're just trying to keep costs in line. Parkview's doing a great job. Lutheran hasn't done anything wrong. It's just we're trying to save all the pennies we can to keep your rates as low as possible. Download Healthiest You, download GoodRx. Check those out if you can today. Any other questions?
On that LabCorp deal,
Sure.
when you go to LabCorp, how much does that save? You say it saves you?
84%.
84%.
How much of our premium is gonna go up on our checks?
I don't think that's been determined yet. I don't know.
Well,
They're
Beth
still-
said it was
they're
gonna be
still
done by
working on it.
today.
Yeah, she wasn't available to come to the meeting today, so I'm sure she'll share it with you in the next one.
I don't have that information.
Oh, I figured you guys would know.
She sets
shared with
that,
us,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn it over, and then I'm gonna be here afterwards, so if you have any individual questions, be happy to answer.
I'm only gonna take 5 minutes because I know everybody's gotta get going. This is Legal Shield and it's one of your voluntary benefits. There's a couple different options here. You have a CDL plan, which is gonna cover you with your CDL license, cover you in your truck and your personal vehicle. So what it's gonna do is if you do get any moving traffic violations and you're a member of ours ahead of that violation, there's 11-day waiting period for it to take effect. But if you get a violation, then you're going to be able to contact the law firm. Our law firm's in Oklahoma. They're a transportation law firm, and they're going to get you then in contact with an attorney that's in the jurisdiction that you received the violation. And you can have free CSA consultations for those of you that are going across the state line. You can get a hold of the attorneys. They have to call you back within 8 hours. And what it's going to do is cover you for any kind of things like moving speeding tickets. It's going to be for overweight, length, height. It could be any kind of a situation like that. I do have brochures over here that talk about it, and it's $6.91 a week. It is payroll deducted. And check with your tax preparer because it also may be a tax deduction because it has to do with keeping your license and keeping your job. So.
But it's a business expense.
Correct, a business expense, so $6.91 a week. Here at Riley, we have that locked in. It is not going to increase on you, and we do waive all the enrollment fees. It's also portable, so if for any reason you would ever want to keep that and take over after you've left here, you can keep it at that rate and pay for it on your own. So that's what the CDL plan is. Again, I have brochures over here. You'll also see on here that there is a family. It says legal family plan or individual plan. That's a separate benefit. If you're a family, it's $4.37 a week, and that'll cover children up to age 26 and a spouse or significant other. If you're an individual, it's $3.91 a week. And what that one does is it is a preventive legal care for your personal life. And we'll do everything from drafting wills, like you'll get a bunch of booklets, you can fill this out, you can do it online too. But nobody's gotta get dressed up and go downtown Indianapolis to go to a law firm. You just fill this out, you drop it in the mail to them, you can update it all the time, you know, like once a year. Do we have any Ohio drivers in here, Ohio residents? Okay, then for Indiana, we're all calling our law firm in Indianapolis. They got 15 attorneys on staff, all specialize in different things, from anything from real estate to family law. And they have to call you back to within 8 hours. So we have a phone app, just like your insurance does. We want you to put that phone app on. All you gotta do is tap a button that says, call my attorney. And during daytime hours, they'll call you back within 8 hours. If it's nights, holidays, weekends, we have somebody on call 24/7 for emergencies. So if it's a child protective situation, it's it's an auto accident, it's anything like that, then that's something you can get a hold of somebody 24/7. So on the personal legal plan, unlimited questions, again, draft your wills, look over documents for you. If you're gonna be buying or selling a home, they can draft those for you too. Uncontested divorce is available at no charge. So what do they got going on?
So not all the way, up, about halfway.
Oh, I was thinking it was maybe more. So, anyway, I'm gonna be over here to answer some questions and those brochures, but on that personal plan, just know that it's, you can have some preventive taken care of, or.
So this is basically for CDL drivers?
The personal legal plan,
Right.
you can do that alone without having the CDL plan. So if
Okay.
you're not one of the CDL
Like it
drivers.
says, kids up to 26, so like somebody's, you know, in there, my son's 21 or whatever, driving.
Yeah, so, good point. So on the CDL plan, it's just for either you or your spouse if they have a CDL license.
Okay.
On the personal legal plan, the family plan, that one is for you, your spouse, and children up to 26. Everyone's included for that rate. And that again, locked into and no contracts. So if anytime you ever went out, you just tell me you went out. Okay? So, thank you, everybody. If you have questions, we'll all be around. Here.